What's going on, everyone? This is Anastagio here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes on how I made my latest single, Rest of Our Lives. Let's get right into it. So the first thing I came up with for this record was the drum sound, specifically starting with the snare, then the kick, then the hi-hat, and then the crash. I programmed everything out. It just follows that theme of, like, you know, a pop symphony 80s type of sound. And this is what I came up with for the percussion. The next thing that I came up with was the bass sound, essentially. With this one, I wanted to keep it pretty simple because I wanted the drums to really shine, and, you know, I wanted the melodies really to speak for itself. So I came up with something pretty simple, and this is what I got with it. So once I had the bass and drums together, I had the main portion of the rhythm section done at that point. So the next thing I was looking for essentially was melodies. And I ended up landing on this contact patch, I won't say what, but I came up with a pretty simple melody in line with the rhythms. And I think it really solidified that, like, retro 80s type of sound, but like with a 2020s flip on it. And this is what I came up with for that. So now this track was starting to build up a little bit. You had, you know, drums, bass, keyboards. Now we're starting to look for some of, like, the pocket noises as well as, like, the ear candy, essentially, to really wrap up the beat. And the next thing that I ended up putting down was a guitar, which I used my Fender Mustang for, which is kind of really tucked away in the beat, but, you know, it's still an ingredient which, if you take it out, you'll notice it. And I kept it pretty simple again with, like, in line with the bass and the keyboard. And then this is what I came up with. So once I laid down the guitar at that point, I was really looking for, like, that final, like, cherry on top sound. And essentially I ended up sound designing a little bit and making that lead synth that I think is probably the most memorable part of the beat, which, you know, really keeps it in line with the theme and all that of the record itself. So once I laid that lead melody down, at that point I knew the beat was done, so I started the process of writing lyrics. I started with the hook, then I did the second verse, and then I did the first verse, which was kind of all backwards in a sense, but it was like a puzzle piecing it together. But once I had the hook, I kind of knew what the, you know, overall concept was going to be of the record. This is essentially what I got for, you know, the vocal sound after I had written, you know, the lyrics.
Right, the rest of our lives, at the time of our lives, and everything will be fine. The rest of our lives, the rest of our lives, at the time of our lives, and everything will be fine. The rest of the years that come and fly on by.
So overall, I think this is probably one of the better records I've written in my career. Just, you know, in terms of, you know, everything perfectly coming together, in my opinion, between the production, the engineering, the lyrics, you know, the way it was recorded, just everything in that sense. I think it, you know, comes together perfectly. So to everyone who's been listening so far, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stay up. Peace, love, and prosperity.